Water. My friends Spoon, Jesse, Brandon, and I are here to learn as much as we can about it. I'm Greg. Spoon and I grew up on the East Coast, and when we moved to Colorado, we learned that water is very important. We want to know what a western river looks like, how we affect it, and in turn, how it affects us. The snow and the water in the stream will eventually become the Colorado River. If we can, we're going to follow it there. This is the story of our journey. This is a map of the Colorado River Basin. We're here, at the headwaters of the Animas River. Together with Jesse and Brandon, we're going to follow the Animas and San Juan rivers for more than 400 miles in a 10,000-foot descent, from the San Juan Mountains to the Glen Canyon Dam. At the lake, we plan to outfit one of our cataracts with solar panels and an electric motor, to be the first people to travel across Powell by solar power. 4.4 billion gallons of water is estimated to flow down the Colorado River each year. Based on the average consumption of Americans, that's enough water for 30 million people. None of it reaches the ocean. Some of it doesn't reach the ocean because of natural causes: evaporation, plant and animal consumption, and groundwater infiltration, among other things. Today, most of the water doesn't reach the ocean because we use it. Me, you, and millions of others. Using water is necessary for us. Most of us need mines, oil wells, dams, factories, showers, irrigation, and recreation. These processes alone aren't the problem. The future of the Southwest is uncertain. Cities in the region are highly dependent on water in the rivers. All of the river water is already spoken for. This is a problem because the population in the region will increase, while the total amount of water in the rivers will decrease. It seems like there's a water crisis looming. Hopefully by the end of this expedition, we'll know if that's true.
Yeah, super psyched. We're up here at Animas Forks, an old mining town, and we are we're camped out at over 11,000 feet up here. Really grateful to be out here.
What happens when we use too much water on such an enormous scale? What is the state of the San Juan River Basin? What does it say about future water use in the Southwest? Spoon, Jesse, and I decided to start looking for answers where the water starts. Brandon will join us in a few days. Wood Mountain at 13,768 feet marks the start of this expedition.
Now I'll just sleep beneath your floor, and my ghost just tries to keep you warm. I've seen the end, I've lost the war, and one day you'll join me here just like the rain. I hear the engines, they're roaring in our mouths. Those metal creatures are calling to the veil to get out. I see the airplanes, they're pouring from your chest. They fill the air and burn and bury just like the rest.
From Animas Forks, we walk 4 miles to a place called Eureka, with skis, backpacks, and camera gear. The walk isn't very much fun.
I ain't got no money, I ain't got no job, I ain't got no home, but I got these rafts my friend Jack gave us. We can float down the river all the way to the ocean, all the way to Chile. And this is my Spanish debut. Yo quiero más cerveza, mi amo escucharla. Yo quiero nadar en la río Damn, your shoulders are jacked up. I don't know mine. Are mine as bad as his? Hey, yours are bad.
Feels good to be at 9,000 feet. Today was day one. We got up at 6 o'clock, started up Wood Mountain, and total today we did about 6,500 feet of elevation change, and I figure we walked around 10 miles. So I'm tired, my shoulders are definitely tired, and my legs are tired. Yeah, day one, just so much has happened in one day that I'm so excited to keep going. In 1873, the first log cabin was built in Animas Forks. The town steadily grew, and in its best years, 450 people lived here. In the early 1900s, a combination of bad winters and declining profits caused most residents to move to Silverton or elsewhere. Like Animas Forks, Eureka was once a thriving mining town. The mill in Eureka was the town's main economic driver. In 1941, the mill was closed and the town was soon abandoned. Although Animas Forks and Eureka are now ghost towns, the environmental impact of the mines that made them remain. Groundwater naturally seeps into the mines and collects hazardous metals. When the water exits the mines, it's often unsafe to drink. Environmental protection groups work to decrease the amount of water pollution from mines, but it's difficult. The Animas River Stakeholders Group and other groups have successfully cleaned up many of the mines in the area. However, near Silverton, Cement Creek empties into the Animas. The abandoned Red and Bonita mines release hazardous amounts of arsenic, cadmium, copper, and lead into the creek. Cement Creek has always been naturally mineralized, but these mines release unnatural amounts of metals into the water, and since 2004, the water quality has worsened, meaning that the amounts of these metals in the river are increasing. This explains the loss of 3 species of trout in the Cement Creek in the last few years. We can taste the minerals in the water. The people of Silverton and Durango have been dealing with this problem since the mines were first opened in the late 1800s. The solutions are difficult and costly, but possible.
Morning. What are we doing today?
What are we doing? Well, sleep it in so that we can wait for the creek to rise so we can kayak it.
Some carbohydrates in ya.
Whiskey, won't you come and take my trouble? 'Cause I can't seem to do it on my own. In the morning there is hours and infinity. And starlit evenings come to take me home. I ain't got a dime in my pocket. I just stepped on my last cigarette. There's a bar downtown that'll give me credit. Home away from home, the way I went.
Hello there, camera. Fresh corn on the cob, roasted on the fire. So darn good. So I apologize, I'm gonna be eating this while I'm debriefing. And while I'm debriefing, I'm gonna keep my pants on. And this corn is really good. We're yet again in a beautiful valley. Really thankful to be out here doing what we're doing, even though I don't know what that is right now anymore. It's kind of like just the three of us hanging out, doing some stuff, skiing, backpacking. It's amazing right now.
Well, I'm kind of in a rush to do check-in right now because it looks like we're about to get slammed with at least some out-of-season monsoon rains. So nonetheless, I'm going to give you a thumbs up on everything that's going on. We got corn and tamales. Shoot, man, I gotta go.
Hey look, there is some blue sky in that.
Yep.
It's there.
I can't tell if it's blue or gray. It's like,
Dude, that is blue.
That's definitely.
Like on the ridge line, that is blue.
Yeah, I see.
oh, the mountains are coming back.
Yep.
Oh! As soon as we see it.
You ready?
So we're just waiting for Four Corners to get here with our rafts and people that are gonna row them. So we're just kind of hanging out. It's pretty quiet. Just preparing ourselves.
Are you nervous at all, Greg?
I'm a little nervous. Yeah.
What are you nervous about?
Holding on to the boat and not falling in the water.
What happens if you fall into the water?
You get very cold and it gets very scary. But it should be okay. It should be real fun. Spoon's rafted the next 25 miles of the river before. I haven't, and I'm nervous. The river cuts through the heart of the San Juans. Avalanches often cover the river until late spring. Freezing water, multiple Class 5 rapids, and mile-long sections of Class 4 rapids makes the upper Animas dangerous. Spoon and Jesse are better boaters than I, but even they don't feel comfortable rowing these rapids. Our friends at Four Corners Whitewater, out of Durango, will guide us through the upper. We are excited as we rig our rafts. I glance at where the river disappears into the mountains, anxious to meet what's down there.
Well, I got years of living, buying how I choose. I ain't never been a gambler, cause I was always bound to lose. My buddies, they drink liquor, sometimes I'll go along. But I got a girl who don't like that at all. Well, you know I wouldn't fight if these guys wouldn't shove me. Now I can't go home because my baby, she don't love me. There ain't no use in trying anymore.
This is day 3 of the descent. Super fun. We went through 3 Class 5 rapids today. I don't know how many miles we did, but it was super fun. A little hairy. The seats on the cataract, aka Chelsea, they weren't optimal. They were a little sketchy, a little close to the front, and we hit a rock sideways. It was just on the tail waves of it, and hit a rock sideways. Had to throw a high side, and the boat wanted to go over, but we all climbed up to the top, pushed the tube over the rock. We were hung up on it for a minute. It was really exciting. Yeah, it still doesn't feel, I don't know, it feels like just another day, you know? I think we all really enjoy enjoy this type of atmosphere, being on the river, being outside. Lots of thanks to the river gods today. So this is Spoon signing out. Another wonderful day in the life of the current film.
So, back again for another check-in. We're down here at Last Chance Eddy, the Rockwood takeout for the Upper Animus. We floated from the Four Corners camp last night. Well, not last night, but last night we stayed at the Four Corners camp and floated 12 miles today through Broken Bridge Rapid, Class 5. Took out at Tacoma. And me, Spoonie, and Greg threw our packs on. Well, we threw dry bags over our backs and hiked out along the train tracks and met the fourth member of the team. He's finally here, Brandon. So far seems like a cool dude. We'll see how Brandon takes to all of this. It's pretty much go, 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 so the learning curve is very high, I guess.
Brandon is my best friend. He's never been on a raft or in front of a camera before. He's clearly nervous.
All right, so it's the first day. It's pretty uneventful. I was getting real upset for a while there. So I was waiting at the train station for a while. That's all right though, it gave me some time to myself, just kind of reflect. It was nice coming back to Durango. Got to see some nice people. I always forget how friendly people are here. It's nice to see Greg again too. I haven't seen him in a while. Glad I'm going on this trip with him. Spoon and Jazzy seem real cool too, so I think it's been a good time. Don't know what to expect though. So.
Just downriver is Baker's Box. In more than one place, the river seems to disappear underground. Extreme constrictions in the channel force rafters and even kayakers to take out here. Missing this takeout could be fatal. We plan to get to Jesse's house, which is 5 miles away, sometime tonight. He lives close to the river. Four Corners said they would drop our boats off at his house. We rest for a while at Last Chance Eddy and talk about how we're going to get to Jesse's.
If we were to go through the dude's property, I'd rather go around here than take a road, because there's bound to be something on the road. Even though there's a road right there. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. My vote is that we take the train tracks all the way to directly above your house.
Okay. I personally just don't really like messing with private land, you know, especially at night. We don't know the area. There could be tons of houses down there that we wouldn't know about. It could just turn into a mess. Whereas the train tracks, it's like, okay, pull it. It's not a road, but.
So we've got to postpone our departure so I can make coffee. How do you feel about that, Greg?
I'm stupid.
You're stupid. That shit is bright.
No. Yeah. Nah, I can't even see anything.
Well, it's 3 a.m. again, like it always seems to be. Driving northbound, driving homeward, driving when he's driving me. It just seems so funny, always end up here, walking outside in a storm while looking way up past the tree line. It's been some time. Give me darkness when I'm dreaming, give me moonlight when I'm leaving. Give me shoes that weren't made for standing. Give me tree line, give me big sky. Give me snowbound, give me rain clouds. Give me a bedtime just sometime. Now you're talking in my room, but there ain't nobody here. 'Cause I've been driving like a trucker, I've been wearing through the gears, been training like a soldier, I've been burning through this sorrow. The only talking lately is a background radio.
It's comfy.
What do you think you're after so far?
I mean, this is pretty sweet. I crashed the boat already. For like 2 minutes.
No, like...
Then I lost my privileges.
Riding that hose like catching some train. Now I just walk, well I don't mind the rain.
Yesterday was really nice, really calm. It's good to finally be on our own boats. Just the four of us, and sunny all day, no shade. And then Spoon got naked and they were on a boat together. And then Jesse got naked, was playing banjo on my boat. But it was good. There was a little tension in the morning, packing. I felt like Spoon and Jesse had some issues with being boat captains or whatever. So I talked to Spoonie about it, say, hey, listen, like, that's not your boat, that's not his boat, these are our boats. And Spoon was like, well, I mean, I feel like we should have a boat captain for each boat. I said, sure, but if things are going well. And some things weren't getting packed, they weren't really working together on packing, so there's a little unevenness in the boats. But by the end of the day, I think it was worked out, and this morning they evened out the load, so that was good. We camped just outside Durango. The town is lit up and the sky glows orange. Our friends and beds are over there, but we stay near the rafts. 130 years ago, only 2,000 people lived here. Today, 17,000 people live in Durango. This growth is common in the Southwest. In 1900, the population of Las Vegas was 25. Today, more than 500,000 people live within the city limits alone. Los Angeles, 1,600 in 1850, 3.8 million today. In total, around 38 million people rely on the water from the Colorado River, and on average, each of these people uses 143 gallons of water per day. Of course, some of this water use is necessary. Spoon, Jesse, Brandon, and I all eat food, flush toilets, wash clothes, dishes, and occasionally we shower. Nearly everything we make, buy, or use requires some amount of water, but there are things we can do to lessen the amount of water that we use. Seeing that 38 million people each use around 143 gallons of water a day, it's easy to see why the Colorado dries up before it reaches the Sea of Cortez. In general, we take the water out of the river, but we don't put it back. As the Southwest continues to grow, where will we get more water? The ocean? Conservation? Limits on population? Pipelines from water-rich regions? There are no simple or easy answers. So far we've seen only a few straws pulling water from the river, and no dams to divert or store the water. We think of other things, knowing that sometime soon we'll have to deal directly with the effects of our water consumption in the form of dams. How are you feeling this morning, Brandon?
Not too bad.
How's your sunburn?
Not too bad, actually.
Hey, what's up? It's day something. We're on an island in the middle of the Southern Ute Indian Reservation. Today was pretty nothing. It was nice. We had the town run, which was fun. Got to see some people come out. Got to talk to some people about the film. I was pretty much just handling the camera. I don't know. I feel like I don't have a place and that kind of stuff because that wasn't really part of the planning of this whole trip. And I'm just kind of the dummy, so I feel like I can't do any work. Like today, I just kind of sat on the boat and videotaped. Didn't really row or anything. Don't know what to do. I guess it'll come. It just kind of sucks. I feel useless. I want to contribute, but I can't. and I don't want to ask a million questions. Alright, that's about it. Pretty close to the border of Mexico. I think it's 15 miles or so. So yeah. See how the rest goes. Journey is still young.
For the second night in a row, we camped illegally on private land. This time we picked an island that isn't near any houses or roads. There aren't any other options because we don't know anyone that lives with land nearby, and there isn't public land that allows camping. We don't worry much. A friend of Jesse's invited us to stay at his house the next night. We gladly accepted and offered to help out with anything around the property. He asked us to help move a neighbor's old playhouse onto a platform. Of course we said yes.
We stayed at Brent Eaton's house last night, and yeah, I played with the chickens, jumped on the trampoline. The big memory from yesterday will definitely be building the playhouse. There were so many things so wrong with it. It was awful.
Real sketchy, like sketchiest thing possibly so far.
Well, first off, there was like this old ratty playground set that his neighbor up here had, and he wanted to put it up on this platform that he built on a tree.
This is ridiculous.
Alright, see what you think about that. It was definitely a class 5 project.
Brandon, don't you want to come out here with us?
I'll just hang on ground.
What?
I'll just hang on ground.
That's nice.
I'm good here.
I don't even know. I think it's better in theory than it is in
Reality.
practicality.
We loaded up in his truck, looking like if one of those ratchet straps broke, all hell would break loose.
Just gonna throw it out there. I don't have health insurance.
It was just a mess. So I told the guys, like, please don't get hurt doing this. Like, say no before you get hurt.
There were moments where if some of the strapping, the rigging holding the playhouse is probably 10 feet off the ground. If some of that would have broke, it would have been game over for one of us, maybe more.
I just wanted to go hide on the boat and hope that Britt wasn't going to ask me for any more help.
But we successfully transported the playhouse up to its new home and drank a beer inside and celebrated our accomplishment of not dying.
This is why we're in the flatbed today.
My face is starting to take a beating, I think. I was looking in the mirror and cheeks are super red, and I think I need to give my face a little bit of a break. Yeah. The sun's been with us really hardcore. It's been pretty hot. When you say, Brandon?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty hot. I'll pay the price.
Yeah.
There are a lot of lowhead dams downstream. We've only seen some of them before. From what we've heard, only a few are dangerous. Thankfully, today with high water, we can carefully float through these dams. Coming up to a dam, I get nervous. There's a horizon line and the pour-over is hidden. Spoon and Jesse run them first and signal directions back to Brandon and I. Lowhead dams are most often built for irrigation. When a dam is placed in the river, it raises the water level upriver of the dam. The water then enters a canal or pumping station. It then flows down the canal or piping to the location where it's demanded, most often for agriculture. The dangerous part of a lowhead dam is a downstream recirculating hole. Boaters get trapped in this powerful recirculation either because they didn't know it was there or because they thought it wasn't powerful enough to hold them. It's nearly impossible for a person to escape this type of recirculation once they fall in it. Hundreds of people have died in the United States this way. Many rescuers have died when they're pulled into. Dams with dangerous recirculating holes must be portaged. There's just no safe way to raft over them. Over time, most lowhead dams lose functionality. The upriver side of the dam fills in with sediment, which causes the canal or pumps to no longer function properly. On average, it's 3 times more costly to repair a dam than it is to remove it. Even if the dam is functional, affordable steps can be taken to make the dam safe. Backfilling a lowhead dam with large and small rocks is a cheap way to eliminate the recirculating hole. It allows boaters to safely float over the dam. It allows fish to naturally migrate upriver. Many or most of the dams on the Animas could be removed or backfilled with no consequence to the dam's original purpose. People rarely float this section of river because of the dams. One day, hopefully, these dams will be completely safe. Boaters from Durango could then float all the way to the San Juan carefree. River advocacy groups are currently working on making these dams safe. For now, though, we cautiously approach each horizon line and hope we can float over it.
Just keep fucking shit up. Yeah, so I broke the microphone. And now I probably have to run into town tomorrow and go find one. Cause I'm an idiot. And yeah, otherwise, Spoon just got back, got a food resupply, and pretty angry with myself. No fucking use on this trip.
We had to deal with some weird shit today. There's these. We went over 2 lowhead dams that were kind of, you know, looking at those things. They're pretty freaky. You know, 8 feet drop, completely man-made concrete structures. They're scary deals. People get stuck in those and they drown because of those, because it's an extremely unnatural current. You know, I mean, it alters the river entirely.
There's several major lowhead dams that will probably run tomorrow, or portage, or yeah, they're the ones that make you scared a little bit.
That looks pretty nasty.
Yeah, that one down there, lower left.
Contact, yeah.
Lower left picture. I haven't seen that one.
That looks pretty ugly too.
Our friend Kent Ford joined us last night. He paddled all 30 miles from Durango to here in one day. He has paddled more than 330 rivers in 27 countries. We're honored that he's chosen to float and portage with us today. Penny Lane is the common name for this dam. Sadly, a 15-year-old Boy Scout drowned in this dam in 2005. We talk about lining our boats down the left side of the dam, but decide it's too dangerous. We don't want to get near the pour-over. Spoon goes to look for someone with a truck to help us out.
Yeah, so walked up, saw a sign that said there was a construction company, and I figured construction workers like to work and like to make money. First I tried to offer him some beer, and he's like, oh, it's like, I got 20 bucks I could throw you, and he's like, oh yeah man, I'll help you out. he's like, I just gotta finish something up, man, and I'll be right there. Alright man. That's my redneck voice.
Spoonie, you don't need to imitate a redneck.
This wind's fucking brutal.
What did you sign up for? What did you sign up for?
It's just an
Brandon?
expression. I signed up for an experience.
Is this an experience that you always wanted?
I'm sure I'll think so afterwards.
What do you think right now?
Could be worse.
we've successfully completed the Animus. We celebrated the confluence of the San Juan over the long river running tradition of beer drinking.
Jesus! Dude, you gotta hold it up right.
You gotta get the air bubble goofball.
Goofball. Cheers, motherfuckers. Cheers, y'all. Ah! Ah! Yeah, baby!
"40 miles upstream the San Juan River, the Bureau of Reclamation has released 5,000 CFS of water from Navajo Dam for the benefit of downstream river ecosystems. This is a spring release, and it will go on for days. So much water means we'll fly downriver."
Somebody had the bright idea to put a river-wide, absolutely disgusting looking dam that we really don't want to put our rafts through. It's gnarly looking, so we're about to buckle down and de-rig about 2,000 pounds worth of gear and boats.
Three, two, one. And stop. 3, 2, 1.
It's 95 degrees. 3 hours later, we're back on the boats.
How far did you say it was? Like a mile? Mile or two? What? Hey, Craig! Eddy out right below the waves. Below these waves.
So we checked out the diversion dam, saw that it was runnable, which was really exciting that we didn't have to portage again. Then we got back to our boats, decided to push through. We picked our line, we decided we'd all stay center right-ish, and as we come around the bend to get to the diversion dam, these like crazy winds pick up.
Are you gonna end up teeing up to it?
Howling wind, she's a crazy girl. She called the storm that spilled the world. We're moving on. And all the secrets that I learned, I stole them from a dusty bird, dying all alone. And everything you ever learned to love is burning up. All your dreams are trailing on. You tip your head to the dark. We're moving on. And all that's left of you and me is scattered pictures in the creek. We're moving on. Everything you ever held dear is burned.
What a day. Man, there's a beautiful sunset right now. I just got to watch the playback footage of Brandon flipping the first time in the eddy. It's pretty goddamn funny.
Yeah! Get to shore, Brandon!
Swimming!
This is the Navajo Reservation. Most of the reservation is arid and receives little rain. Besides groundwater, there are only a few major surface water sources in the region: the Little Colorado River, the Colorado River, and the San Juan River. 40% of Navajo Nation households rely on hauling water by truck from pump stations to meet their daily needs. Historically, the Navajo tribe and many other tribes have received less than their fair share of water. When it comes to deciding who gets court-approved water rights, interests from agriculture, mining, and cities such as Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Los Angeles have the strongest cases. Not because they necessarily deserve the water, but because they have the most powerful voices. This is still true today, most of the time. In the last 10 years, the Navajo Nation has won 2 major water rights settlements. The Colorado Ute Settlement Act Amendment of 2000, which will supply water through the Navajo Gallup Pipeline, and the Navajo Nation Water Rights Settlement of 2005, which will supply water through the Navajo Nation Municipal Pipeline. Both pipelines will supply water to the eastern and northeastern parts of the reservation. Together, the estimated cost of constructing these pipelines is more than $1 billion. The last dam we portaged will soon be the diversion for the Navajo Gallup Pipeline. An estimated 10 billion gallons of water will be taken out at the dam. For now, the dam supplies water to a coal-fired power plant in the area. Thankfully, we only have one more dam to scout, and it doesn't seem like we'll have to portage it. The next 60 miles of river almost never sees boats. We see more cows and tires than people. Unless Jesse is playing banjo or Spoon is playing guitar, it's silent. We are alone on a desert river. To say this is an expedition is pushing that word to kind of a new, maybe modern meaning. You know, I'm still not entirely convinced it's an expedition. It goes back and forth whether it feels that way or not. I mean, no one else is doing it. Does that mean it's an expedition? Like, that's hard. It's not easy doing this. But it'd be easier if there was no one around. So, you would have to portage if there was no one here. We'd have to deal with permits and private land and cars in the river and barbed wire fences and steel I-beams in the river. And
you can't, at least in this day and age, live off the fat of the land anymore. And there used to be wild animals roaming around this land. Now there's just cows. You know, there's trash in the rivers. It sucks. There's oil rigs everywhere.
This one's like 100 feet off the river.
It's a shame. This area's been brutally beaten down. Seeing all of this, it's kind of disheartening. When you do trips like this, you really hope that you can kind of revitalize your sense of, you know, respect for wild places. But seeing what we've had to see, it's kind of the opposite. It's kind of a shitty feeling, almost. Pick your battles, but which one? Right? I mean, there's so many issues with the way that these waterways are treated.
Out here in the desert where everything, it's a pretty hostile environment, but it got that much more hostile because about 90% of this stuff probably isn't supposed to be here. These trees, these tammies here, you can just see that they absolutely overrun the bankside. The river's right over there. And Spoon was reading today that they introduced Russian olives as to protect from erosion. And well, I bet they're looking back at that idea thinking that that was dumb. Probably the same people that were thinking that if you put old abandoned cars on your bank, it'll hold the bank in too. That was dumb. I say let it be, folks. Let it be.
Miles and miles of tamarisk and Russian olive. Probably hundreds of miles.
Probably hundreds of miles. We've been following it now for at least 100 miles.
Oh, and by the way, this fucking desert is hot and awful. Bad day on the river is better than a good day in the office. That's what someone said. Yeah, that's the way you start a morning out. We found a new camp spot. We'll go down maybe like a mile downriver tomorrow that has road access, and it's like maybe a mile to Wild Rivers.
Yeah, we'll be able to get our batteries up there easily and charge them up, and clean the groover.
Then tomorrow we can also check on fixing the hose for the stove.
We're entering canyon country. The next 70 miles is permitted by the Bureau of Land Management because of its popularity with boaters. It's one of the most beautiful places on earth, and we want to share the experience. We pick up our friends Ellie, Rebecca, and Derek. They bring fresh food and beer. My dad, Joel, also joins us for his first river trip. I'm very happy he's here. They will stay with us until we are close to Lake Powell.
Well, both the rivers we've been on, the Animas and the San Juan, I mean, they're stunning, you know, but there's a lot of impact to them, and once you start to take notice, it kind of really pops in your mind. Like, I mean, we've been talking about these damn trees now for weeks, and the cars on the banks up near Farmington, the diversion dams, you know, like, it's a bummer to see that, but, you know, I guess in a sense I can understand, you know, like, I mean, people are just trying to make a living, I guess, you know, pulling that water elsewhere and taking it somewhere so you can start a commercial hub or something, you know, but I've wondered a lot about what it would be like to be on this river before a lot of the development, you know, like, because I can't argue against some of the impacts because I've never seen it before it was like this. Like, this is how I know these rivers.
And the only apprehension I have would probably be it's more of a technical thing about the solar panels and motor at Clay Hills. If that stops working, then it's definitely going to become pretty interesting to see how we get across those 100 miles. So that's the only concern I still have about us the rest of the time.
That really stands out for you right now?
I don't know if I've had a place that's been like that, but I think I've kind of had a moment where we've had these layover days, and a lot of the guys, they'll read or they'll do something else, but usually I just sit and think, and I've been thinking a lot about my life back home because it's so different than this, and what direction I wanted to go in, and I was just thinking to myself that I really don't want to lose like these kind of experiences in my life, because I guess the nature of like the education I have is not in this direction at all. It's with computers and a whole different world. So yeah, I was just thinking that going forward, I hope that I can kind of keep these kind of activities, these kind of experiences in my life, because I don't know, I learned different things from this kind of stuff, like about myself more than other things that I do in my life.
I think me and Spoon still have some stress, like with this all working out well. I know I definitely do, and it can kind of get to us. We can snap at each other sometimes, and just on stupid stuff, and we both recognize it, and know that we're mad at each other for dumb reasons, but it doesn't like make it go away, which is even stupider and makes me more upset.
There were some days like after Durango where there was like some stress and tension building, and guys like talked to Greg, you know, like it was mainly Greg stressing out, and I talked to him and like just mainly like asking him what it was, and like we talked it out, and it was camera shit mainly, you know, like dude, don't stress about that shit. You can't control it. Like if you can control it, then like do what you think needs to be done, and if you can't control it, don't worry about it. And they like got fine after that. Morale's been good.
Folks, we're back here on the Naked News Network where Spoon's about to do Ledge Rapid. Naked. I don't think they noticed.
Yeah, sorry.
I see.
Yeah!
I just love river tripping.
Right?
I think another thing that through the connection of the river is meeting all these people that we've met. Like, we spent the last couple days hanging out with the Wild River Utah crew, and like they were awesome and like totally psyched to help us out and hang out and like hear what we're doing. And so like, you know, like people start asking what we're doing, and like it creates like the river creates human connection, right? Like it creates this conversation piece that goes on, you know, and they'll remember it forever. You know, like, oh, these crazy guys, like, they're floating the page from Silverton. Like, what the fuck? Who does that? You know, like, they're like, some people are just completely mind blown. It was awesome, you know, like, super supportive, like, psyched on it. It was funny. But I think the connection to the river is maybe grown a little deeper, but like the connection with people has like grown like tremendously. Like I have like 10 new best friends whenever I go home, you know, like, which to me is really cool. I ain't got no money, I ain't got no job, I ain't got no home, but I got these raps my friend Jack gave us. We can float down the river. Other side, all the way to the ocean, all the way to Chile. And this is my Jesse, get up here!
Brandon and I aren't big drinkers, but there is one rule about boating and drinking that we always follow. If you swim, you do a beer booty. There are no exceptions. The river gods must be honored.
Did you not get your breath? I don't think so.
Yo quiero.
I love kayaking in the river running.
Rio. Más cerveza, por favor. I ain't got no job, I ain't got no money, all I got awesome rounds.
I don't want to know.
Milwaukee's best.
Do you miss when it was just the four of you?
I liked it. But I also like this. You know, it's just different circumstance. You know, like when it was just all of us out in New Mexico and stuff, you know, we were like a well-oiled machine, you know, like everybody did everything right, you know, nobody had to ask anybody, you know, it was just get up in the morning, row, you know, life was easy and everything, and life is still pretty goddamn easy now.
Yeah, I think it's just different. I think, like in the beginning, I felt like we had more of like a sense of accomplishment in the beginning. It's because we were covering so many miles and it was just all about business pretty much in the beginning. And now we're kind of just, it feels like we took that part and we kind of worked towards this, what we have now, where we just kind of have easy days, spending it with lots of people, just kind of relaxing, just jumping in pools. So I kind of feel like that's how the trip has went so far. It's not to say that I didn't enjoy the first part, it was just, I think it was just, that's just how it worked out.
It was business, we had more shit to deal with. Life is pretty easy when we hit bluff.
Team leaders. So.
Greg and Spoon, what do you think?
Okay.
Their communication level?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's pretty good. I think that I'm sure each one has like their issues or their gripes about the other, but at least they'll talk about it. Like I'll hear Greg talk about something and then he'll say, oh, I talked to Spoon about it yesterday. And I was like, okay, that's good. That's someone you need to talk to about it. So yeah, I think it's good.
Everybody talks to each other, I think, when in need, you know, when decisions need to be made, whatever the fuck, everybody. I think it's a good, solid crew that's been in it to win it from Silverton to Page.
Greg will remind me to get back on task sometimes and like get shit done but then I remind him like things will get done.
Yeah, Spoon's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm like, let's figure it out right now.
And I'm like, yeah, let's figure it out now.
We could do that, or we could do this. I'm like, all right, Spoon.
I like to see the show the options.
Time to decide sometimes.
Because they're definitely on different ends of the spectrum.
I could say pros, and me and Derek were talking about this earlier. With Spoonie, the hamster running on the wheel inside the brain, Spoon's hamster is passed out. But the hamster that's running on the wheel in Greg's head, it's running as fast as it motherfucking can. All the time.
I would concur. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good analogy. Otherwise, yeah, I would say Spoon is just Spoon, you know, like just Spoon. Like I can't.
Spoon is a
Spoon, man.
It's a verb. You can use spoon as a verb.
It's just Spoon. He's just there's nowhere that he's got to go, even if he's got to be there now. He's just, we'll get there.
Just want the whole world to know that I am endorsing Herman Cain for president of the United States of America. Do you know about the Class 5 poo? Let's see under your skirt, Greg. Hola. God. I'm so sexy. Make a scene where I sound smart, Greg. It's tan in my cheeks. Is that a word? Practicality. There's still good shit inside. I won't throw this drumstick in your face. Do I have a booger? I hope so. Do I have a booger? Oh man, God. My hair is looking fucking real good right now. Yeah, do I look drunk and high right now? Get your dinner plates ready, bitches. My mom's gonna be so proud that I have my own chapter. Ladies, I bet you wish you had smell-o-vision now. Oh shit, it wasn't recording.
We had a total of like 3.5 miles today, which took a lot longer than expected because we're on flat water and there is a very slow moving current and we're pretty much just dodging sand.
Why do you have sand all over you?
Because I'm sleeping.
Does that usually happen when you sleep?
If you sleep in the sand.
Here's Brandon. It's just Brandon. His name's Brandon. He's eating his food. Oh, wait. He's done with his food. But it's just Brandon. I forgot his name. Oh, yes, it's Brandon. Brandon was a young man, a young lad, from the depths of somewhere. And he knows what his name is. What is it? Brandon is his name.
At full capacity, Lake Powell stretches for 100 miles up the San Juan River. It once went from Grand Gulch to Page, Arizona. As the river water entered the reservoir, the current slowed. The sediment that was once carried downstream now settles at the bottom of the river channel. Since the reservoir was constructed, 30 feet of sediment has deposited in the river channel, which means that the river is 30 feet higher than it was 50 years ago. Due to persistent drought, the reservoir is 70 feet below full capacity. It has receded 16 miles downriver. The dropping water level caused major changes to the last 5 miles of river upstream of Powell. The channel is in a completely different place and now flows over a 15-foot waterfall. The last 5 miles of the river changed rapidly because of the changing water level of Lake Powell. We don't know what the waterfall will look like when we get to it. We'll figure it out. This is our last night in the canyons and with our friends.
And I ran back to that hollow again.
And I ran back to that hollow again. The moon was just a sliver back then. And I ached for my heart like some tin man. When it came, will it beat and it pouring rain was ringing.
Ring like silver, ring like gold. Ring out those ghosts on the Ohio. Ring like clear day wedding bells. We're with the belly of the beast of the sword that fell. We'll never tell. Come to me, clear and cold. And some say why's the world spinning ways? Night machine.
This is a takeout for all boaters. An older man from another group asks us if we know that it's almost 100 miles to Page. In partial confidence, Spoon says yeah. The man recommends that we don't continue downriver. Spoon thanks him for his concern. Rafts here are not normally designed to tackle the difficulties of portaging a waterfall or rowing 90 miles to cross a reservoir. A cataract is different. It was designed with the specific purpose of transitioning from river to flat water. Jack from Jack's Plastic Welding arrives with more gear for the last piece of our trip. We switch out the second raft for 2 small catarafts. The most important pieces of gear are the solar panels and electric motor. Our hope is that we will be the first team to travel across Lake Powell by solar power. We say goodbye to Derek, Ellie, and Rebecca, and my dad. Jack joins us for the last 6 days. After an hour of rigging, we take one last look around the takeout and then move on.
I got a question.
No.
Does anybody want a cold beer?
I want a cold beer.
Is
You
it
want a
time
cold
for
beer?
a cold beer or is it too early? Do everything. How's your line scoutage from up there?
Pretty good. Go left.
That's where I was going.
I might want to wait a little while. There's definitely this little ripple thing going on right now. And it's going to be hard for me to get down to help push.
Spoonie, when I do this, does it look like they're creaking at all?
Not at all.
Fuck yeah.
Like he didn't even know what you were doing down there.
No.
They're not even, those cams help so much. They kind of look
Fucking awesome.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, because we're just going to keep getting hung up right here.
Alright, hang on.
Get in, Spoon. You see it? No, I feel it though.
Think left side or?
I think.
Nice work.
Yeah, so it's fucking awesome, man. Best day ever. I'm happy to lose all our friends and excited to pick up a new one.
More ice cream!
Chocolate chunk and vanilla bean. I thought somebody might not like chocolate, so I got vanilla.
I just like ice cream.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with me.
But no, it feels good to be back out here. We're out of the canyon, out of the Cedar Mesa Sandstone. We cruised past Monument Valley way off in the distance to the south, which was super cool. You don't get views like this when you're in a canyon, you know. Tomorrow we'll get to deal with the waterfall that's formed because of Lake Powell.
Maybe 1 in 1,000 go past Clay Hills nowadays. I'm not sure exactly, but there's nothing down here. And there's no going back at this point.
Oh, solar shade is almost to my face.
We listen for the faint rumble of the falls. Jack scouts ahead in the small cataract.
Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. Looks like he's taking shit off his boat.
Is that enough? Yep. Let's rest it for a second. All right.
cold.
Yeah, but it was.
2 hours later, we're back on the river. Soon there's a change. 30 days after the river began, it ends here. This is Lake Powell, and there's no one here. We wait until the channel gets deeper, and we start up the motor.
You want to ride, Jesse?
Yeah, Jesse, hook up. Let's hook up together and then
yeah, that might
hook up and then we'll be able to tow better.
Yeah. That's way better.
How many watts are you using?
113. But we can do up to 600 without drawing off the batteries. Alright.
Yeah, so it's going pretty good. We're just in the middle of nowhere right now. We're super remote, like barely any animals and just us. And, we did some sweet like cliff jumps today. We did some rock climbing over the water, so if we fell, we just fell into the water. Real fun. And yeah, otherwise, me and Spoon were kind of talking. It's kind of nice to have some time to just talk with each other and not have to worry about rowing or be separated on different boats. We're all kind of on the one big raft today with the motor, so one guy could just steer, but they could still talk to. It's mindless. You can't really make a mistake out here.
What do you think about Lake Powell, Greg?
I think it's pretty unnaturally awesome, and I like it.
What do you think about all these boats and people being around?
It's interesting. 2 days ago there weren't really any people, and now there's lots, and they're driving really fast, and they make driving this boat more challenging. There's a lot of weight on the top with the panels, and we don't really want to get in a point where it starts getting tippy, and so we have to drive into a lot of the waves if we can.
I don't know what the day of the week is. I don't know what time it is. I could probably find those things out, but I don't have to, so I don't really care.
We're in Lake Powell. It used to be a river. It used to be the Colorado. I'm sure it was a very, very mighty river. I can't say that I know that personally. I would only imagine. I never saw it before it was this.
I feel it's about time. I've been out here a long time. This lake's pretty sweet though. I mean, it's a disaster and it fucks up with the environment real bad, but it's pretty cool for entertainment's sake.
Yeah, it's just been crazy seeing tons of boats out here, tons of people driving around, loud music playing from their boats. Yeah, it's been weird. We got pushed 25 miles the next 2 days to be on schedule. I think it's possible. I think it's real big. Probably up real early, long days of not doing anything.
Lake Powell is beautiful but eerie. It's difficult to tell how deep the water really is. In one spot the water is 5 feet deep, but a body's length away it might be 250 feet. With the indirect morning light we go slow, at 300 watts, around 2 miles an hour. Measuring speed isn't about miles per hour, it's about how many watts we can sustain. The electricity flows from the panels through the batteries to the motor. When the panels take in more energy than the motor uses, the energy is stored in the batteries. During the brightest part of the day, between 10 and 3, the panels take in 600 watts. When the wind is calm, we go 3 to 4 miles an hour. 8 miles an hour is the fastest the raft can go. The eastern part of the lake is deserted. The closer to the dam we get, the more people there are. Concerned power boaters approach us more than once to see if we need a map, a tow, or food. To them it might seem like we aren't moving, that we are nearly naked and confused, possibly lost. To them we missed the Clay Hills takeout on accident. Distressed rafters looking for the next rapid. We tell them what we're doing and that we're fine. Tomorrow hopefully we'll reach the Glen Canyon Dam. Our eyes are open at first light to make the final push to the dam. Is this lake too good to be true? It is. It's a reservoir and it won't last. No reservoir does. Reservoir Powell will likely be gone sometime between 2021 and 2060. The desert, the changing climate, and our own desire for a desert paradise will work together to destroy this dream. The dream that absolute control over our most basic resource is beneficial to human progress. The San Juan River Basin is no exception. The 400 miles of river behind us is polluted, dammed, and diverted. We need some dams. They provide us with security from droughts and a means to transport desperately needed water for basic needs. We don't need other dams. In the race for progress, we build many dams with the reasoning that we need more electricity or water. More is not what we need. Is there a water crisis in the Southwest? How could there be? We still have green golf courses in the desert. Yet every drop of water that flows down the Animas and San Juan will be used up before it reaches the ocean. Not one drop of this 4.5 trillion gallon reservoir will reach the ocean. I think about how we are the first people to travel across Powell by solar power. There is hope and progress in the Southwest. Dam removal is a growing practice. Water conservation education and practices are improving. In-stream flow rights to maintain aquatic ecosystems are increasing. The Department of Interior recently published research on future water problems in the Southwest. The annual average rainfall in the basin will decrease by 9% by 2060, while the population will increase by 20%. The research isn't positive, but at least it has sparked real and positive discussion about changing major historic water law to better reflect how water actually flows through the basin. Major changes to our policies and rivers are coming. One day, we'll come back here and float the river below this reservoir. Protecting these rivers from pollution and overallocation is a slow battle that probably won't end. For us, though, it's worth the fight. The San Juan River will likely always be here, and hopefully one day, its water will once again reach the ocean.
I went down to the devil gonna sell my soul. Gonna come back home, my little love, with my pockets full of silver and gold. Well, you're out of luck, said the devil, I got no silver and gold. The policeman, he come and take up all my land, and he left me in a hole. And I'm on my own, no place to call my home. Ain't no pretty gal gonna waste her time on me. When I give you 20 women, pretty gals for your soul, they'll love you sweet all the good days of the week, till you're buried and you're dead and you're cold. Well, I already got me a woman